Good evening, everyone. This is Joe Perry. I'm the CEO of NatraLife, and we've got a fun call tonight. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have some testimonials, and we're going to have be sharing some exciting marketing information. We're going to be doing a little bit of training, and then we're going to cover some of the fourth quarter previews, what's going on with NatraLife, and some things going on that we're really, really excited about. Business was up for the month of September, which we're excited about, and I think it's going to continue to do that. So I think you all are at the right place at the right time. But to get started tonight, I wanted to introduce someone really special to us, and someone that's worked with us since the first day that the doors opened and has made a lot of progress. And tonight I wanted to introduce my friend and business associate, Sandy Haynes. Yeah, I want to congratulate Miranda and Daniel. This is Sandy Haynes' daughter and son-in-law. They just completed the Chattanooga Ironman triathlon. For those of you that don't know what a triathlon is, it is grueling. First, there's a 2.4-mile swim. Then right back to back with that is a 112-mile bike ride, and then a full 26.2-mile marathon. My goodness, you talk about somebody that has to have the right attitude and the commitment, the discipline, and our hats off to Miranda and Daniel. And I thought it was so cool. I sent her a congratulatory note, and she wrote back and she said, "We take the adrenal fuel and the superfood every day. Thanks for the great products." And so I wanted to introduce Miranda's mom for a few minutes and let her talk a little bit about Miranda and the girls and what they've been doing with the products. And then also there's been a big event happen in the last few weeks with her financial life, and I wanted to have her talk a little bit about that with you too. So Sandy, welcome to the call.
Thank you, Joe. It's so strange to have you introduce me.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is different to hear you introducing me. I usually do it the other way around, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Change.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. This is my baby girl, folks, Miranda. She is the youngest of 4 children, and I tell people what a blessing she was to us. She's just been a really easy kid all the way along growing up. She always wanted to do the right thing. She wanted to excel in everything that she did. In college, she was always top of her class on everything that she ever did. So to say she's an overachiever is probably an understatement, because she definitely is that. And I tell everybody that since she was the baby, she wanted to keep up with her sisters and her brother. And yeah, she's a nursing home administrator here in the area. So she's got a very busy job on top of training and doing these Ironmans. So this is hers and Daniel's second Ironman that they've done. So we're really very proud of them. They've been doing triathlons for a number of years, but this is just the second Ironman, and to say the least, it is grueling. This was here in Chattanooga, the first event that we've had of this kind here. And oh, I was telling Joe, the buzz that it has caused is amazing. It is absolutely amazing, the buzz that it's caused. So yeah, they're amazing. I don't know how they do what they do. I couldn't do it, but they do love the products, Joe, so much. And that has, I know really helped them a lot in their endeavors.
Yeah, we're getting more and more elite athletes interested in the products, and obviously the superfood is great for elite athletes. We've talked a lot the last few weeks about the older people, and how great it is for them. We've talked a little bit about kids. And one thing I would suggest for those of you that are on your website in the next couple of days, go on and take a look at the article about exercise recovery, and you'll see very quickly how valuable, especially the adrenal fuel, can be for these type of athletes. So it's incredible when you watch one of these things, and if any of you have ever tried to just swim a mile, oh my gosh, I just can't, it's incredible. So my hat's off to them.
It was amazing watching people cross the finish line and seeing their success. I mean, we saw people crying as they crossed. I mean, literally, it's a very emotional event. It really is, to have accomplished what they do. I saw a man cross who was 78 years old who did this. And so it's not, for them it's not about being the best or winning the race. It's about finishing it and doing their best. And so, you know, I think it's really great. I saw people in my age category, in your age category, Joe, who are also doing these.
Yeah.
One guy, these two guys came in from Spain. They had just done an Ironman in Spain, caught a flight, came to Chattanooga, and did this Ironman the very next day. So
Yeah, I'd be one of those. I'd be one of those that was crying when I crossed the finish line.
It's just seeing the way people are so committed to completing and finishing this it's just amazing. And you have to stay to see the last person cross because you want to be there to cheer them on, knowing that they're finishing no matter what. So it's very, very moving.
Yeah, Miranda told me that the event itself is really just the culmination of this months upon months of hard training, and I can see why it's so emotional for these people to finish, and some of those that don't even finish. It's emotional. It's something, again, that we should take our hat off to. It's a big achievement. And
there were 3,000 people in this event, 3,000
wow.
participants, and that's not counting. I think they had 4,000 volunteers. And when you start putting that together with friends and family and everybody that comes out, we were talking thousands of people that came to the Chattanooga area. My friends on Facebook probably are tired of seeing me talk about it, but
yeah,
we're proud. We're very proud of Miranda and Daniel. Yeah. Daniel's actually a nurse in the area here in Chattanooga, so they're both kind of in the medical field.
Yeah, well, next year we need to shoot to have a lot of adrenal fuel and superfood users in that race, in that triathlon. You know, Sandy,
we sure do.
The other thing I wanted to chat for a few minutes about is, you know, you and I have talked a lot over the last couple of years, and I've known you for quite a while, and we've got to know each other well, and done some laughing, and I think there's been some tears as well over this last year, especially as you've gone through the whole circumstance with David and him having a graduate degree and having to work side jobs and things like that for you all to make ends meet, so to speak. And there was a big event that happened a few weeks ago. Why don't you share a couple minutes about that?
Yeah, pretty exciting. And some of you who are my friends, I know, kind of know our struggle, you know, with our house, because we built a house. And a few years after that, you know, as you know, the economy started crashing, so we're struggling to make the mortgage payment right. So my goal has always been to build a business that would cover the mortgage payment so we wouldn't have to worry about it because we're nearing retirement age. So as we got to that point, you know, we just saw lots of things happening. My husband's business that he had had for 15 years started falling apart. Economy was just affecting everything that he was doing. And so then, of course, you know what happened with the previous business that we had going. And so for a year ago, this past summer, I had no income at all. And he was already working a job and was bringing in some money, but it wasn't enough. So he took a second job, and he was working 70 hours a week. For a year, he had been working 70 hours, and we hardly saw him. He was working 6 days a week, sleeping 5 hours a night, and it was grueling. We're talking somebody who's pretty fit, but to have a 61-year-old man doing that, it's kind of tough.
Yeah.
So, you know, our one goal has been all along to have him home, and the good story is, between NatraLife, what we've been able to build here with NatraLife, and what we've been able to do with actually retiring, because we both did turn 62 this year, we've actually officially retired.
Yahoo!
David hasn't stopped working, though. He's just stopped one job. Now he's only working one job. But yeah, we have actually retired, and so now he's working because he wants to, not because he has to. And so thankful to NatraLife that that has been possible for us to do it, because we would not have been able to do it otherwise. It was just no way.
Yeah,
so
that's huge.
We're just very, very blessed, and thank you so much, Joe, for doing all that you've done for us by opening the doors to a wonderful company that truly offers people success, and I feel like just truly cares about people.
Well, thank you, Sandy. I feel the same way. And this business is so multifaceted. You know, there's so many companies that talk about the money being the only thing. And there's so many facets to this that are so exciting and so fulfilling. And I think you and your growth have been a good example of that, the way you've nurtured and helped people. And it's so exciting right now to be in a business that is so cutting edge, and it's the real deal. We have real products. We have, again, the real deal. And some interesting stuff happened in Dallas. Those of you that are watching the news, you probably know by now that Dallas has been ground zero for the first Ebola case in the United States. And so there's kind of mixed emotions around here. There's, you know, the people that are saying that it's going to go crazy and everybody's going to die, and then there's people saying you're overreacting. So there's the doomsayers, and then there's the positive folks. And one of the things, as I was reading through some articles the other day, this little ditty here from Linus Pauling hit me. He says that nearly all disease can be traced to nutritional deficiency. And, you know, Ebola, the way it's looking now, the risk is probably on the lower end of the scale, and that's compared to other viruses, i.e. flu, colds, other infections that are coming up, especially during this season as we begin to close down the houses again, the germs, and kids are in school. So I just encourage all of you to get on these products and stay on them. Sandy, you and I have talked a lot about, you can't believe that people ever stop taking them. And
Yep.
some that have stopped have called and said, I can't believe I stopped, now I got sick. So the products you got in your hands are just incredible, not only for the athlete we just talked about, we talked about Jerry and Carla and the older generation, that 77 million people that we're talking about in the baby boomer generation. And now you talk about everything that's going on, and all these facets are coming together, and I am just so excited. And some of you might have gotten the article I sent out the other day, and in that I had included a link to a recent Forbes article, and this author was writing about the network marketing industry, and I was really shocked because a lot of times when those articles are written, they're not very positive, but this guy was incredible, and I think he was spot on with what he was saying. I just wanted to kind of review a couple of things that he talked about that I think we all need to take note of, because we've got something sitting in our lap right now that could be incredible in the next couple of years for all of us. And this author says, I believe that the entire industry is poised for explosive growth and can be one of the most significant solutions to America's current retirement savings crisis. And what he's talking about there, so many of us, and Sandy, you talked about just a little bit, so many of us get to the stage where we want to retire, we go on Social Security and all those wonderful things, get the 401k withdrawals, and we realize we're trying to live on a third or a half of what we couldn't live on before. So this is an amazing opportunity for our generation to bring those ends together that aren't meeting right now. Another thing he says, in fact, I believe the concept of starting a business for retirement income will become one of the most significant trends impacting retirement in the 21st century. Now that's a strong statement. Concept of starting a business for retirement. So a lot of us get to the end of our business lives and we want to have not only the income, but I think the significance of continuing to work. I know with myself, a lot of what I want to do now is leave a legacy for myself, my family, for your families. I want these products to go out potentially internationally and change thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lives. And I think we all can be active agents to do that. And the last thing I thought was really cool is he says, not to mention helping people see the importance of planning for the non-financial aspects of retirement is replacing a work identity, staying relevant, as well as keeping mentally and physically fit. So us staying active, not only walking and going to the health club and things like that, we've got to stay mentally on our game. So all of you that are on this call that are approaching retirement or in retirement, this is a fantastic way to subsidize what your retirement income may or may not offer. So if you're not quite there this next year or two, if you get on this and start working it a little bit and being consistent, then I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at what could happen. Now, one of the things I talk about a lot is sharing something worthwhile. And I wanted to give you a report. A few weeks ago, I talked about, I was doing a little business card that linked to our site, to a drop page, and I was passing these things out. And I'll show you the card in a second as a memory refresher. And people still ask me. I talked to a lady earlier tonight. She said, well, how do I get started with this, Joe? What do I do? One of the easiest things is to provide links to the testimonials. You can do those through email. And what I did, I got so convicted when I heard Jerry Price and Carla Mercer talk about the effect that these products had had on some elderly people. And after I hung up from that call, I told some of you that I felt if I didn't share this, I didn't ever want anybody to come back to me and say, Joe, why didn't you share this with me? So after I said that, I mailed out a bunch of emails to people that I probably wouldn't have thought of mailing out a business email to, and the responses have been fantastic. I'm getting people that want to get involved in the business, people that are buying product, picking up new customers, new associates, and it's kind of created a little whirlwind because those testimonies are so powerful. For those of you that haven't used those yet, and if you want a copy of the email that I send out, I'll be glad to forward that to you. Just go ahead and email the help@NatraLife.com and ask for it, and I'll forward it to you, and you can doctor it up any way you want and send it out to some of your loved ones, some of your friends, some of your business associates, and I think you'll be shocked at what the response might be. The other thing that's been real big is these rack cards. We keep talking about these. These are these nice cards that come in your orders. If you use those and samples, especially to qualified leads, and I want to emphasize qualified leads for samples because the samples are not cheap. So if you find somebody, if it's a physician or, it might be an esthetician or a health club owner, somebody that runs a juice bar, just whatever, I wouldn't hesitate at all to give them a couple samples in the literature that go with them. But just to pass them out erroneously, unless you just want to do that, for those of you that have a limited budget is probably better, again, just to do qualified leads. Your business cards, you can have those leads straight to your site. Just put your name, your site name, and what I've done, though, is first I did the little cartoon character that I'm going to show you in a second, but now I've got the cartoon character on one side and my business card on the other side. So you can have the cards, the emails go directly to your site, and they can lead to the drop page. If you look at the little illustration at the bottom of this page, the secret that can change your life, if you look on your home page on your site in the lower left corner, when people click on that, oh, there's my card. When people click on that, they go to the drop page, and that's the one with the rhinoceros and the stress test, and they put their information in there. And one thing I want to mention is when you do that, you're probably going to have a delayed reaction because people go in, they'll put in their information, and they'll get several emails with articles that go with that. And it's really valuable, great information, but typically they won't respond for maybe 2 or 3 weeks till they've gotten 3 or 4 or 5 installments. And that's exactly what's happened to me. I put a bunch of these cards out, and both of my sons were kind of amazed today. I picked up 3 new people in the last 2 days, and 2 of those 3 were from cards I know that I handed out in a little restaurant here as I was sitting just visiting with people. So again, if you use these little cards that go to the drop page and they get the series of emails, the secret, then just be patient on those. Here's the page that they drop on. Here's the stress test. They can go through that. And the thing, again, I want to emphasize, if those of you that have not gotten this for yourselves, go on your site and go ahead and put your email in there. It'll send you the series so you can see what your potential clients are getting. And it's phenomenal information. As I've told you before, some of our trainers and health professionals are using part of that curriculum, and they're selling it to patients or clients for the information they're imparting to their new clients. So one of the things that I think I want to emphasize tonight, and Sandy's talked about it with what's going on with her and David and their financial life. Miranda and Daniel emphasized it in completing this triathlon. And I think all of us need to look at the fact that if we want to do something and we really want this to change our lives in the next year or two, we've got to turn our beliefs into behavior. Zig Ziglar, I used this one time before, I just love it. He says, you don't have to be a great starter, or you don't have to be great to start. You have to start to be great. So you got to start before you get anywhere with this. So again, just do something. And I love the saying a lady told me once, and I think I might have read it in an article recently too. She said, you know, you can't treat this like a hobby and expect it to pay like a business. So those of you that are interested in this as a business on this call and thinking, my gosh, you know, I really would like to make $1,000, $2,000 a month, $500 a month, whatever, start treating it like a business. Commit some consistent hours to it, some consistent call time, just whatever it takes, emailing, and just do something consistently for a few months and watch what happens. Okay, one of the things that I wanted to discuss tonight too is what we plan to do in the fourth quarter with NatraTech. And this has been an exciting year. It's we're just getting ready to celebrate our first anniversary, which is incredible. And we feel that we need to continue increasing exposure. So one of the first things we're going to do is we want to spend more time on person-to-person in internet marketing. We're in the process of creating another new drop page that's oriented more toward the marketing and the opportunity. We think that will be great. People like Sandy are really getting into the social media more and more and finding more tools and techniques to use in that vertical space. And those things, as we get more and more of them at our disposal, then the more we'll give to you to be able to use in that arena. The other thing that's really getting a lot of traction right now is interest from high volume outlets. We've had multiple calls in the last 2 weeks from juice bars, salons. We had one lady that has multiple clubs that have juice bars, and they want to purchase product in bulk. So we're looking now at potentially providing bulk pricing for these higher volume outlets. We'll probably have to lower the bonus value to do that, but when you get these high volume outlets, you probably won't care very much, because I've done business in this space in the past, and it can get very big very fast once you break into it. The other thing that we're getting a lot of interest from is the health professionals, and we're working the next quarter on integrating more of our NatraTech business. For those of you that know anything about NatraTech, our primary emphasis has been health professionals for several years, and we're getting health professionals that are seeing, because they're going to the NatraTech site, and the adrenal fuel and the superfood is there, but it's routed through to the NatraLife site. So we're beginning to get some buy-in there. So we'll be working with more and more health professionals in the fourth quarter. And for those of you that have these types of people that have interest, I'm going to start doing some three-way calling with you. So if you need me, we'll schedule some appointments, and I'll get on the line with you and talk to these people. Just we're going to probably have to schedule ahead of time and all that, but I'm allocating time during the fourth quarter to help each of you if you need the help to get this segment going, if you want to do that. Another thing, I just talked about it with me, I can do three-way calls. The other thing, for those of you that are leaders that are on this call, use some of that talent that you've developed and some of those skills to help other people. So three-way calling is probably one of the core tools with this business. I know there's internet and all that's great, but good old three-way calls, gee whiz, face-to-face even, is a phenomenal way to build your business. And then we'll have a surprise or two fourth quarter as well, and there'll be more said about that in the coming weeks. So you're going to be, I think, excited. You're going to have more tools. I think you're going to have more access to bigger types of business. We're developing more and more testimonials and more solidity with the company, and I think that that's something that just takes time. One of my favorite sayings is, style without substance cannot survive. And I hear so much hype in our industry. I just want to tell you, get something real and just work at it consistently, and don't let off the gas. And I just saw that. I was telling Joey today that is our customer service manager and operations manager, said, you know, I saw one guy today that stopped ordering about 3 months ago, and 2 of his people have ordered in the last 2 days, which would have qualified him for the retail bonus. And the way this pattern has gone is some of these people, you might be in this situation where you've got a customer, you think you've lost them, they're not ordering, they haven't ordered this month, and they didn't order last month before that. But we're seeing a pattern that people that haven't ordered in 1 or 2 months all of a sudden are sprouting in and ordering this month. So month 3, they order a $160 order. It's just something that you lose out on if you quit. So I think that hanging in there is probably one of the best things you can possibly do. So again, in closing, I'll say that if you really want to build this, you really want to build an extra income, treat it like a business, be consistent at it, go out and share it, use me, use people like Sandy, use the leaders to help you. And I'd love to get on a call with some of you that are on this call and talk about your retirement, or, you know, you being able to stay at home, Mom, those types of things. So I appreciate you all immensely, and we can field a couple of questions now if you like. And from there, again, I just appreciate you all so much, and thanks for being on the call. It's exciting stuff.